Every once in a while, the world of combat sports has an event that's so amazing that you know it will not only live up to expectations, but it may even exceed them. What would happen if the best MMA fighter of all time fought the fiercest Muay Thai fighter of his time? MMA rules and Muay Thai rules every other round. When Muay Thai star Rod Tang Jin Myungnum fought living legend Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, the answer to this question would be clear. At the first special rules super fight in the championship's history, the two would put their skills to the ultimate test. He has had one of the most successful careers in MMA. It would be interesting to see how he did against one of Muay Thai's best strikers with most of his grappling tools taken away. If he made it through the first round, how would Rod Tang do against one of the best submission artists in history? Aside from the fact that they didn't know what to do, each man's style wasn't right for either sport. Rod Tang is like a walking bomb, and punching him in the face seems to make him stronger, but he has reasons for being crazy. It all starts with the stance, which is forward and leans back with a mid to high guard and his weight back, so he can quickly check the hole or lead a leg kick to close the distance. Also, his weight makes him more likely to throw hard punches than almost all other high-level Thai fighters. Rod Tang likes to throw hard punch combinations, but his style requires DJ to quickly change his balance so that he can hit as effectively as possible. It would make Rod Tang completely easy to take down by any simple move. Johnson's always liked to use advanced footwork to set up short exchanges of strikes that flow smoothly into takedowns. Using these steps and lateral shuffles, he constantly switches between orthodox and southpaw. This lets him play with angles from their strong side to their weak side, get out of the ring, and do all kinds of takedowns from either side. But if Johnson doesn't have to worry about being taken down, his lateral footwork could hurt him. To figure out what animals live in the lake, Johnson's one of the best grapplers and strikers of all time. A lot of this comes from the way his deep head moves. This could hurt them during the Muay Thai match if they keep trying to take them down. Now that night had come, it was time to see what would happen. The two came in different ways, and each one looked both calm and happy. Rod Tang was sure of himself because he'd always done well, and it was time for the right-away rating to take effect. Rod Tang cut off the ring right away by stepping in diagonals to trap Johnson and send out a barrage of missiles that hit their targets. Mighty Mouse's long guard was swept away by Iron Man. This threw Mighty Mouse so far off balance that he took a follow-up shot to the temple, but DJ quickly locked in a double underhook, tilted, and ran a mallet. Then he changed his stance to land a knee at just the right moment. The referee stopped them, but each man kept trying to knock the other one out. But now it looked like the Mouse was setting up traps by stepping back until Rod Tang got involved and then coming back to beat Johnson. Rod Tang got a hook by slipping inside and hitting an overhead right from behind. A good plan that worked almost right away after DJ's deeply ingrained wrestling techniques caused him to lose his balance and position and forced him into a close quarters fight with one of the best fighters in the world. But this wasn't Iron Man's specialty, and Johnson is a hard-working freak of nature who drove down hard on Rod Tang, who immediately countered with a sweep. DJ kept his balance, which was a miracle, and then he turned with the ratings hook and faded back. Even though they came from different places, it was clear that this wouldn't be easy for Rod Tang, the human tank. However, Iron Man was both crazy and smart, and he could throw straight and sharp. When he had to, he tightened up his shots and only used force when DJ was in a weak spot. The champion was now showing the true spirit of Muay Thai by calmly walking through strikes with the least amount of force, while keeping his balance and posture so he could have any counters with minimal movement and step back in to return the paper right away. When wrestling and punching were used together, the head sweeps and deep angled steps that worked so well were now working against Demetrious instead of Rod Tang. Johnson jumped off the cage and tried to land another tight knee, but Rod Tang threw him so hard that the referee had to quickly move out of the way. During the Muay Thai rounds, DJ may have planned to one-shot and dodge, but that plan went out the window when he squared up and threw down almost carelessly, blocked his head kick, and came back to cross off the same arm. When Johnson's foot hit the 2-3 on the next beat, both misses, he was about to leave. DJ tried to hit Rod Tang with a hard left hook, but Rod Tang just chopped him. Rod Tang wasn't done, but Johnson's newest high guard blocked his punches, and both of his power shots through the bold through guard missed. Then DJ used the way wrestlers usually move their heads close up to move deep inside and line up his right. Even though it was too big, he slammed his arms into Rod Tang's nose. Even though it wasn't a follow-up left cleaner, Rod Tang was already framing off DJ's head by putting his arms inside to throw tight elbows. The fight between the two had reached its peak. Rod Tang won by letting DJ hit him harder and by turning and shaking his hips to block DJ's attacks. The referee put some distance between the two warriors, and now there was only 1 minute left. Rod Tang had to act quickly or he might lose the next round, which was the last thing he needed. He landed his best punch to date, which was a combo of a lead body head to a rear hook. He then smothered him in the clinch until DJ turned the tables and used his years of cage experience to his advantage after the break. There were only 30 seconds left. Rod Tang knew something was wrong and moved closer. DJ took advantage of his hurry by lowering his guarding head and then landing the same counter overhand inside. The Muay Thai champion, true to his reputation, didn't seem to notice and kept shooting, but DJ tied him up and got out of the fight, making sure to separate them. Johnson kept hitting the second takedown, but he still waited for the right time to attack. Before the bell rang, Rod Tang was able to land one more powerful late kick. At the end of the round, the two did give each other a high five. Both were impressed by the other's skill, but the fight wasn't over, and now it was Johnson's turn. The matador was now Rod Tang and the bull was DJ. Rod Tang decided to switch to a super stance sometimes, moving around the ring with a long, narrow stance, changing directions and dipping into Johnson's legs. Rod Tang thought this was a good plan and it was working until DJ popped a bottle 1 minute later. Even though his plan was working well, this was one of the first times he really went for it with the Rod Tang. Rod Tang couldn't help but feel cheated, so he sent back a DJ with a huge hook. From his point of view, the biggest problem he had was that he had too many good choices. Rod Tang tried to stand up, but DJ grabbed one of his legs and wrote on the page with the other, making the situation worse. Rod Tang had to do everything with one hand or else Johnson would have hit him on the neck. Even when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, they did. Rod Tang tried, but the two of them fell to the map. Rod Tang got into Johnson's arms and held on for dear life with only half the round left. But DJ was able to free himself with a pencil a few seconds later and then put his other leg over. It's hard to overstate how bad Rod Tang's situation is. He fought and was able to take DJ's top hat off, but it didn't last long. He may now squeeze the naked chicken harder and harder until Iron Man goes blind. Johnson did what he always does and threw his celebration kits. When Rod Tang woke up from a nap he didn't want to take, the two of them suddenly showed each other respect. It was a special event that was worth seeing and a great show of skill by two of the best fighters in the world today. Thanks so much for watching this video.